Sana ako sa'yo kanina. Oh.
Okay?
Sa side niyo, sir. Check.
Ito, yung wide.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay na. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Practice natin. Let's experiment. Yung front lang for shorts lang. And this is good. This is perfect.
So,
Mas,
okay,
mas
okay.
real. Yung isang shorts na,
Oh.
2 million views yung isang shorts. So, naghanap ko ng mas lighting na maganda sa Ronald Sayang.
Ready?
Alright, go.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back dito sa latest episode ng RAR Pilipinas 360 Degrees. Shockingly, hindi lang on time, ahead of time, nasira yung aking explainer. Napakaganda. Papasok na ako, i-explain ko sana yung pack silica, technical issues, the pros and the cons, and then biglang pumasok na isang shadowy figure pumasok.
I would have wanted to learn
Yung
something.
itsura pa lang niya, parang, may nakikinig ba dito? Mamaya na tayo mag-explain. Sir Ronald, welcome back to the universe. Mukhang mas gising ka this time. Salamat sa ating mga kaibigan sa Philippine Star.
Pag-usapan natin yung space travel ni BBM.
Oo, kasi papadala daw si Bato isama sa space, diba? Marami tayong pag-usapan sa Ronald, especially later on dun sa the Okta survey, favorite mo rin yan, pag-usapan. Kasi medyo gumagalaw yung basa, at least in that survey, we're capturing a part of that. And then of course, nag-evolve na rin itong debate around Lenny and all. I think Kiko also made a very important statement the other day na kung maalala nyo, barely weeks before the elections, hopeless case sila Kiko and Bam. Bam was barely in top 14 even, right? And next thing in the number 2, yung isa, number 5, yung isa. So it looks like there's growing hope na very encouraging numbers ni Lenny for actually given this at this point in the elections. Pero simulan muna tayo sa State of the Nation address. Very polarized yung read. Like some people were saying, comprehensive, you tick all the boxes. The president was very assertive. The president, talked about some important issues, including the fact that he's not the president of his family, he's the president of the republic, so we need to go around against people around close to him. And then may mga tao, of course, na who were saying na given yung kalagayan ng bansa, you should have gone a little bit even more dramatic, probably even almost recognizing yung limitations mo. Overall, what is the bad, the good, the ugly? Anong nabasa mo dyan sa SONA, Sir Ronald?
Well, yung sabi ko nga before nung SONA, the first 5 minutes of his speech will be the defining component of the speech. Doon yung kanyang walang kaibigan, walang kamag-anak, ERAP moment. Di ba? Yun yung kanya na I'm not the president of my family, I'm not the president of my friends, I'm the president of the country. At kahit mabigat sa kanyang kalooban, ay kinasuhan niya yung kanyang pinsan, who is also a very powerful politician, former speaker. At sinagot din ang kanyang kaibigan almost habang nagsasalita siya. Sinagot din ni Speaker Martin na mabigat din sa kanyang kalooban pero haharapin niya ito with dignity. At yung hindi na yung sinabi, yung dati niyang sinabi na he will...
Spill the beans?
Yeah. He will bring others down.
Right.
Hindi na ganun ka bitter yung kanyang sagot. Pero basically the speech is about amelioration. The speech is about relief. It's about relief, immediate relief para sa mga Pilipino. In the
middle class.
Yes.
Yun yung mahalaga, no?
Yes.
Yung sa EPIRA laws, sa electricity cost system laws, tax relief.
Yes, in the middle of an economic crisis.
Yeah.
Na tayo yung slowest growing economy sa rehiyon, fastest inflation, high unemployment, record high weakening of the peso. Sa gitna niya, ang kinawang kanya ay sa populist rhetoric na expand niya ang benefits, ayuda. It's basically ayuda economics. Amelioration ang tawag ko rin. No?
Right, I agree with you.
Pero it also fell short of structural reforms. May elements na indicative na gusto niyang baguhin yung EPIRA law, amend the EPIRA law. Tanggalin yung mga systems laws na pinapasa sa consumers na matagal na nating sinasabi about more than 30 years ago.
Ito yung mga jumper, basically.
Yeah.
We're basically subsidizing.
Sa utilities yan. Tapos yung VAT, which is 12% of electricity. So mga almost a fourth ng electricity ay at least theoretically mawawala. At medyo indicative din yan doon sa possible na pagdating ng PAC Silica. Dahil with high electricity costs, mag-hesitate yung PAC Silica dito. No? With a shortage of water and electricity. No? Anong gagamitin nila? Water at saka electricity intensive yung pag-produce ng mga microchips. So, yes, amelioration yan, pero nakadikit din yan dun sa strategic game changer na inaasahan nila, yung PAC Silica. So, SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth, expansion, no, income tax exemptions, etc., etc., subsidies. Pero, nasan yung structural reform sa mga anti-dynasty? Wala siya nabanggit doon sa anti-dynasty na priority bill niya.
Even yung mga number of bills na bago na pinapropose niya, parang wala masyado.
Yeah, priority niya yun. No? Yung regressive taxation system natin. At saka an element of an indicative wealth tax. No? Dahil pag babawasan mo yung revenue, saan mo kukunin? Ano? Ang hirap ngayon mangutang with high interest rates. No? So, yung ENDO, no, na to protect yung pinaka-vulnerable sa ating workers na walang job security at below minimum wage ang mga sahod. Anong gagawin mo ron? Wala yun. No? Wala yun dito. Yung
So
usapin
basically, in-implies ayuda na lang at saka tax relief.
Yes.
Tax relief, baba na lang.
Pero ayuda economics is basically dole out. So, okay siya in the tactical moment. Pero in the medium term and long term, ang ino-offer mo is PAC Silica, which is for now basically just a brochure. No? Wala namang substance pa eh. Ano ba yung, what are we talking about? No? In terms of legal framework, in terms of technology transfer, in terms of revenue gains.
Yun
Ito,
nga yung i-explain ko na sinira mo yung momentum pa. Ako na lang mamaya. We'll go to the industrial policy issue very shortly, Sir Ronald. No? But going back to this, hindi ba kaya, because the president is entering his final years in office, twilight years na, his political capital perhaps is not there. He's under a lot of pressure, mababa yung kanyang trust ratings, yung kalaban niya, mga Dutertes are mobilizing hard, meron threats of destabilization, may improvised yung explosive device na malapit sa Senate. Hindi kaya in that environment, a tactical situational, very Adam Tooze yung term na yan, a more tactical situational ameliorative approach is the safest and most sensible. Kasi if he punches a little bit more than that, ito na nga, I'm going after my cousin. If I go after the rich in the country, after the dynasties, and structural reforms na babanggayan yung mga malalaking conglomerates, maybe you're asking for trouble. You're asking for a premature implosion of your coalition, if not worse.
Yes.
Not to excuse that. I'm just trying to rationalize what
Yes,
you
dahil nagbabalanse siya between survival, an existential threat, and at the same time, legacy. No? Kaya dapat binabalanse mo. You also need a legacy. What will you leave this country? No? Patapos ka na, so anong imamarka mo diyan? Siyempre, mahalaga yung anti-corruption, pero nasaan yung mga congressmen, contractors na involved dito? No?
Hindi na pala 0.5 I think si Curly nasa kulungan na talaga.
Okay, so may 40 na.
Maraming galit sa'yo eh. Si Ronald 0.5 ng 0.5. Eh si Curly rin naman, Diskaya, nandun rin daw sa kulungan.
Alam ko si Curly nasa nasa Senate. No?
Ay, hindi pa rin siya full detention.
Hindi pa siya.
Really?
I'm not sure. Pero, sige, bigyan na natin yun. Pero may
Team Curly kasi nagre-react eh.
Pero may 14 ka pa.
Yeah, yun
Di ba? Na big contractor. So, parang malayo. No?
Yung isang party list congressman na kinasuhan, kakumpiyansa lang niya today eh.
Sana. Paano
Yun nga,
kahapon wala pa eh.
Oo.
So, sana, mas marami pang makasuhan. Di ba?
Right.
Yun naman gusto natin mangyari. Because, ang gobyerno sinabi, 67 yung involved dito.
Correct.
Di ba? Nasaan na yung 67? Well, dalawa yung binanggit. No? Si Saldico at saka si Speaker Martin. So, 65. Sabi mo, meron ngayon. So, 64 ang natitira. So, yung ganun ba? Kailangan medyo dagdagan at i-fast track. With our judicial system being as it is, di ba? Gano'ng katagal yan? Baka tapos na yung term niya, kinakasuhan pa lang yung mga yan. No? Yung
But a
ganun
certain Ronald Llamas said na it's the direction of the wind that matters. It's not exactly what you get right away. Kung ang makita ng tao is, gumagalaw yung baso, kahit paano may manakakasuhan, even very high-level people. It's not just the number of congressmen. Sino itong mga congressmen na yun? Gaano ka sila powerful? Gaano kalapit sa presidente, di ba? That in itself, couldn't that be
Yes,
reassuring
yes,
enough?
yes. Pero halimbawa, yung kay Speaker Martin, last November pa yan.
Yeah.
Nung nag-propose si Vince Dizon tsaka si Babe Singson,
Right.
nakasuhan siya sa ombudsman. Tapos ngayon lang pumasok as PI.
Right.
Preliminary investigation pa lang. No? So, gaano katagal yan as PI? No? At almost a year ago na yan eh. Di ba? So, yun lang sinasabi natin na baka tingin ng mga tao, yung pirmisa na kakasuhan at ikukulong last Christmas, no? Last March, last May, ay parang, yes, gumagalaw, pero ang bagal nung galaw. No? At defining kasi sa kanya, itong anti-corruption. Siya yung nag-launch ng Mahiya Ka Naman campaign, di ba? So, perhaps people are looking a bit more na makakasuhan at makukulong. No? Pero sa akin, maganda yung ameliorative
For now, especially.
program niya.
Kasi parang stagflationary yung
Itong
pressure.
ayuda economics.
Yeah.
Pero tuloy ang gera sa Iran, tuloy ang pagbagsak ng piso, record low, di ba? So,
So yung food inflation, yung food imports mas mahal.
food inflation will increase next month
Right.
sa harvest time because of the farm inputs na
Fertilizers,
lumaki, di ba? So, yun yung kailangan na hinahanap pa ng mga tao. Something more strategic.
Yeah.
No? Something more strategic. Kahit elements thereof lang. No? Kahit hindi pa isang buong plano. Yes, pwede mo ipagmalaki yung Pax Silica, pero maghihintay yan eh
Yeah.
ng political at saka economic conditions na favorable. Halimbawa, ano mangyayari sa impeachment? Papasok ba yung Pax Silica with the possibility na isang pro-China yung magiging presidente? Of course not. No? Of course not. No? So, papakiramdaman din nila yung hangin eh. Diba? Yung hangin. No? Maganda na sa surveys, at least sa SWS, hindi siya nag-free fall.
Yeah.
Yung negative 50 naging negative 7.
Right.
No? Maganda na yung sa Okta survey ay si Sara ang pinakamalaki ang binaba. No? Bagaman parehas din silang bumaba, below 50. No? So, marami pa siyang kailangan gawin. No?
We'll talk about that in next episode more. Yung kay Sarah, it looks like gumagalaw yung baso. A little bit pag-usapan din natin yung ibang senators who could face the Rottweiler is in motion, right? As we speak, Emang Gradaus, yeah.
Lockjaw.
Hindi naman sila lock-in. Lockjaw might give wrong impression. Kaya naman sa Ronald, ito talaga. Ito sa Ronald.
Hindi mahalaga yung jaw dun sa kakasuhan.
Yes. In this episode, gumising bigla eh. In this episode, Sir Ronald, lock-in tayo dito naman sa Pax Silica. Because, depending on sinong kausap mo, I've talked to people from inside the government who have been negotiators and all, at tingin nila, masyadong unfair yung negative coverage. And by the way, these people are not in front and center. Ito yung mga people na peripherally involved, pero kausap nila yung mga direct people na involved. And sabi, Richard, parang unfair naman, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, pinapa-compare pa sa akin yung na-negotiate ng Vietnam doon sa mga chip factories, semiconductor factories. I mean, actually, if you look at the terms, this is much more favorable to the Philippines. And then, of course, may nakausap tayo people from the progressive blocks, mga kabayan block. Sila talaga concern nila dito. Naku po, malalaking na naman tayo as basically extractive na naman tayo dun sa US model.
Bakit mo sila kinakausap?
Hindi, because I bump into them na may kinausap din sila from the other side, di wala na akong choice, di inaway ko parati. Diba? So, ikaw na nga kausap ko parati. I have to balance that, Sir Ronald. Ayan, baka maretag tayo. But going back to this, Sir Ronald, bago mapahamak, let's talk about this Pax Silica because if you look at the big picture, basically there are two things. No? Unang-una, if you remember Lighthizer, no? Ito yung trade negotiator ni Reagan, na trade negotiator ni Trump, at saka yung protege niya ngayon yung trade negotiator ni Trump ngayon sa Trump 2.0. He had a very influential op-ed sa New York Times kung saan sabi niya, it's not about deglobalization or decoupling, meaning iwalay sa China or wala ng trade. Pero ang gusto niyang gawin is a US-led trade bloc, a US-led supply chain bloc na friendly countries. And in exchange for them being part of that block, they get more access to American markets, maybe the tariffs will not be high. Pero ang kapalit nun is ma-integrate lahat ng mga critical minerals nila, AI nila, basic infrastructure nila, data centers nila. So in short, yung mga beshi namin, you'll get a parang premium treatment. But you're part of my block. And then there's a China block na basically kalaban namin. And then yung mga, the rest will be somewhere in the middle. And then so basically 3-block global system ang tinitignan niya. And para sa kanya, that's the best way for US not only to revive its economy but also to consolidate with its key allies. So geo-economic competition, geo-economic Cold War. The other one is of course sa Pilipinas, Sir Ronald, matagal natin pinag-usapan. The big problem with our country is that wala tayong strong manufacturing base. In fact, exceptional tayo sa East Asia, right? The East Asian growth model is manufacturing driven. Tayo lang service-oriented, dominant service-oriented economy. And that was the criticism I had of your administration, like administration, like maganda yung macroprudential, anti-corruption and all. But I felt there was not significant movement towards manufacturing. And there are many reasons, like hindi lang infrastructure, hindi lang regulatory issue and red tape, power cost is a big issue. It always comes up in discussions with Japanese office. So, basically, yung sinasabi ng mga Paxilica supporters is, eto na nga, finally, naging mahalaga ng Pilipinas sa US dahil sa competition sa China. And if we can leverage that geopolitical position into a geo-economic interest, kung saan, for instance, I was told, one plan is yung minerals na galing sa Pilipinas, i-process natin, some of them will be turned into chips, semiconductor chips, dito sa Pilipinas din. So may element of technology transfer, high-end manufacturing, but then again, of course, there'll be issues with IP, the intellectual property, there'll be issue with technological transfer, R&D. Pero sa pagkaalam ko, Sir Ronald, nine-negotiate pa yan as we speak. On the other side, the idea is that, nako, alam na natin where this is gonna go. The Americans will ask for immunity, special treatment. The Americans are gonna do certain things na baka ma-dislocate yung mga communities. And of course, lastly, I want to say this, which is what you mentioned. Ito na nga, meron tayong energy insecurity. Dadagdagan mo pa yan because very energy heavy itong mga to. But the government says naman, gagawa sila ng sarili nilang mga power systems. And then sa water naman daw, they're gonna basically i-recycle lang nila yung water. So where are we on this, Sir Ronald? Is this structurally impossible because we're dealing with US, or is it a question of negotiating it well, or is it a question of wala tayong choice, let's just get whatever we want, or is it a question of just keep away from the US as much as possible, let's wait for the next administration? Saan ka dito sa debate na yan?
Hindi natin alam dahil what we have now is the form,
Yeah.
the shape. The substance ay wala pa. Kaya nga sinabi ko, brochure pa lang ito eh.
Yeah.
No? So, wala pa tayong masyadong pupurihin, wala rin tayong masyado pang i-criticize. Dahil nga, wala pa yung substance.
But
Yung mga
what would
sinasabi
you
mo,
expect?
yung mga sinasabi mo are aspirational eh.
Right.
'Di ba? Ang pinagsasabi
Or
lang,
speculative,
ang
right?
sinasabi lang naman ng iba, yung mga critics ay ito yung ating history eh. Ang ating history is about resource capture. Ang ating history is walang technology transfer. Yung ating history ay extraction, no, etc., etc. So doon nang gagaling yung mga critics. Dahil nga wala pa namang substance. Sana magkaroon to ng technology transfer, no? Sana ay national interest together with the interest of the investors ang magkasama rito. Pero hindi maganda yung ating track record kasi dyan. Eh.
Yun
No? So, we have to negotiate from a position of strength, di ba?
Or not weakness.
Magne-negotiate yung presidente, papunta na siya as being lame duck, di ba? So, anong strength yung kanyang term of reference? So, yung ang daming work in progress dito,
Moving
no?
parts.
In the next 2 years, no? At usually, yung last 2 years, diyan nagiging lame duck ang presidente. Di ba? Kaya mahalaga na makita natin yung beef. Where's the beef sa lahat ng ito? Skin pa lang yung nakikita natin. No? Pero tama ka, kailangan natin itong i-maximize. Dahil with our economy as it is, wala tayong masyadong industrial base, wala tayong masyadong manufacturing, tapos ang ating export is basically electronics, ang ating
Intermediate
growth
goods lang, yeah.
growth corridor is basically BPO
Yeah.
na lumiliit because of artificial intelligence. Tapos itong Paxilica is basically the infrastructure of AI.
Yeah.
No? So, positive naman siya. Ang ayaw lang natin na, ayun nga, yung negative history natin
Yes.
when it comes to resource capture ay hindi maulit. No? Halimbawa, alam ko, nung mga unang attempts at negotiation dito, medyo approaching extraterritoriality yung hinihingi.
Yeah, medyo may
Oo,
immunities.
diba? Yung mga ganun. So,
yeah.
tayo, meron tayong phobia sa ganyan, no?
Correct.
Dahil sa nangyari sa US military bases before, no? So, ayun, buti na lang hindi natuloy yun. So, the legal framework is very important. Ano bang batas ang mag-govern dito? At the same time, wala pa naman tayo mga batas sa technology, di ba? Kulang pa tayo diyan. Pero dahil kulang ba tayo, ang gagamitin nating legal framework, yung sa US.
Yeah.
Oo. Yung ganun ba? Dahil
So
nga...
are you implying we should work with the legislature? Kasi
Actually, may nag-file na.
yun nga.
Oh, nag-file na yung akbayan para...
so Joke was
yeah.
just saying the other day na huwag natin i-rush yan. Pagsusurin natin na mabuti ito. Yeah.
Yes, dahil ang measurement mo dyan is national interest.
Correct.
What's in it for us? Anong revenues yung makukuha natin? May labor ba? Ano yung labor component? Paano ang skill set natin sa microchips is basically packing. Wala pa tayong skills sa...
Sa packaging tayo.
Oo,
yeah.
oo.
Yung fabrication, wala.
Wala.
Yeah,
So, ihahabol ba yan? Kaya bang ihabol with our educational system collapsing, unraveling,
So
di ba?
what if again, because 2 years ago pa lang sa Tokyo narinig ko yun na meron, di ba, may Luzon Economic Corridor pa doon. And
Lagi yan. Lagi sinasabi yan.
Oo. But under that, one was a science and technology collaboration. Baka wala kang tiwala sa mga Amerikano. Pero sa mga Hapon, I can take their words more seriously. So, meron mga basically science and technology parks, universities in Japan and Taiwan. And one proposal lang sa pagkalam ko is yung mga magagaling sa Pilipinas, galing sa Mapua, galing sa mga magagaling na eskwela na engineering, dadalhin doon at ititrain sila. Para eventually we can move more to fabrication, hindi lang packaging.
Yes, that's good. Pero
That could be part of it, at
Ang
least.
sinasabi ko lang, sa ngayon, aspirational yan.
Well, at some point, everything is aspiration. You have to start
It
somewhere,
doesn't
right?
exist. Unlike halimbawa sa iba, talagang nag-i-invest sila dyan. Vietnam, nag-i-invest sila ngayon dyan. No? Kaya nga, ang problema natin, kung hindi tayo makakahabol, baka mga Vietnamese yung magtrabaho rito. No?
Baka tayo package ng Vietnamese
Tiga-package lang tayo,
chips,
di ba?
yeah.
No, kaya dapat ihabol yan. Ang problema, parang all of BCDA approach ito eh. Hindi pa all of government approach. Wala ka pang cluster of departments na
Interagency.
na interagency na kaharap dito. It's basically BCDA. Hindi naman sa minamaliit ko yung BCDA. Pero syempre, yung capacities niyan ay limited. Kaya ang suggestion ko, full of government approach dito.
Kasi this is the big thing, no? Especially after the
Yes.
president
Oh,
emphasized this.
kailangan mo ang environment, no? Kailangan mo ang education, di ba? Kailangan mo ang technology, no? Etc. Kailangan sila yung haharap. At syempre, kasama ang BCDA.
Yeah.
Ang isa pa diyang elephant in the room is water and electricity. May shortage tayo eh.
Yeah.
Ito, kailangan mo ng intense water supply. Hindi yung hindi yung potable water lang ha. Ibang klaseng tubig ang kailangan dito. Wala naman tayong desalination capability, no? Kailangan yesterday may nag-invest diyan dahil kailangan dito ay very clean water.
Are you suggesting medyo late na ito? Because the other way of looking at it is baka mag-all-in sila. I mean, we have seen industrial parks popping up around the world very rapidly from Emirates to Vietnam and all. You can always say Philippines is not those countries, but you know, I mean, with the technology right now, with the interest right now in
The
AI,
technology is there.
It's
It's
there,
been
the
there.
capital is also
Oo.
there.
Yung capital baka
Yung
yung
framework
wala.
ang wala.
Oo, yung capital din, no? Dahil nga,
The capital will be abroad,
Oo.
coming in, but you have to convince them. Because Ron, exactly yung point mo kanina na because there's a worry that the next administration will not necessarily be as much friendly to the US, ang argument ng iba is medyo kailangan natin bilisan ito because ito yung magla-lock in sa atin into the US-led bloc as a way to balance China. Kasi if mawala tayo nito, kasi walang nakuha si Digong sa China eh. Pogo lang nakuha niya, di ba? Purong empty pledge lang. Pledge trap, sabi ko. Kung hindi rin natin matapos tong Pax Silica na to, wala rin tayong makuha, eto tayo, lutang tayo, the more na vulnerable tayo to predation and manipulation by China down the road. Yun yung argument ng mga tao na, yes, Richard, tama kayo ni Chel, tignan natin. Pero please, make sure hindi ito ma-politicize, maging circus, gagamitin ng mga pro-China elements, guguluhin, next thing you know, Robin Hood Padilla, kung ano yung sasabihin niya. And then, mawala ng gana talaga yung mga investors ng US. Sasabihin nila, walang kwento itong bansa na ito, huwag na tayo mag-invest dito.
Yes.
Yun yung worry nila, hindi yung pagsusuri eh.
Yes, kaya nga, halimbawa, elephant in the room, energy. Energy intensive ang PAC Silica. No? Dapat daw nakakonekta sa grid.
Yes.
No? Renewables are seasonal eh. No? Yung sabi sa SONA ni Presidente, expand niya ang renewables. No? Tapos pinag-usapan yung nuclear power. Okay yun. Nuclear power takes time.
15 years.
Diba? So ang PAC Silica is immediate, diba? Yun lang yung mga
Solar panels,
mahalaga.
mga ganun. I mean, may storage capacity naman, may transmission capacity.
Pero yung battery capacity natin is very low para sa solar,
Bili
diba?
tayo sa China. Baka sa China rin tayo bibili ng mga solar panel.
Oo.
Ayun.
So, siyempre, mahalaga yung processing.
Correct,
No? Value added yan eh. Lalo, ina-export natin ang ating nickel, ang ating raw materials. No?
Second largest in the world after Indonesia.
As raw materials. No? Hindi natin pinaprocess. Indonesia nagpo-process. Pero meron diyang resource capture ang China.
Yeah.
No? Isa lang ang bagsakan niyan. Pero maganda na may processing, may value added, may industrial tsaka manufacturing base na na-establish. Ayun lang hawak ng China yung buong nickel processing ng Indonesia.
And cobalt and lithium sa Africa and Latin America.
Yes.
So actually, isa rin yun eh. The reason na mahalaga tayo is that isa tayo sa mga natitirang bansa na very minerals rich, huge human capital base, geographically well situated. Yun na yun eh, Pilipinas na yun.
Kaya nga
Yun yung
dapat,
leverage natin.
kaya kailangan natin i-maximize eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Kaya sila pumunta rito because of our cobalt, magnesium,
Lithium.
gold at saka nickel reserves. No? Yun ang pinaka attraction sa kanila. Yung labor, yes. Pero yung labor natin, wala pang skill set eh. Para sa ganitong klaseng PAC Silica project. No? So, kailangan mong ihabol. Pero bagsak kasi ang ating learning poverty eh. Bagsak ang ating mga eskwelahan eh. Ang laki ng ating deficits mismo sa mga schoolrooms
maybe,
eh.
Sir, out of millions na siguro naman may mga 50,000 naman tayo na highly skilled labor.
Oh, pero
Baka
very competitive yan eh. At yung mga neighbors natin, mas mabilis sa atin.
Sure. At mas mura yung labor nila. Yung engineers sila, mura lang.
Oo. Tapos walang mga union.
May union, yung mga communist na government control union. But this is a very important discussion, sir. Before babalik tayo sa Caldero. You were talking about BCD. Nga Caldero na alala. Pag-usapan natin sa next episode yan. But a part of me, Sir Ronald, is, of course, alam natin yung kasaysayan ng dealing with the US. Alam natin ang Trump administration, lalong itong version ng Trump administration.
It's going to happen at a time na very unpopular ang US around the world.
Yeah.
Yan yung,
Tapos baka may Israeli angle pa daw na baka involved din ang Israel doon sa
kakapasok lang ng Israel dun sa mga bansa na kasama rito eh.
sa PAC Silica. By the way, hindi lang Pilipinas involved dito. I think pati Qatar yata kasama.
Yes.
Like 16, 18 countries.
Because AI is the future.
It is the future. It's the present actually.
yeah,
Hindi lang
yeah,
future.
yeah.
Oo. Last point on this, Sir Ronald. Dun sa inyong karanasan bilang isang advisor ng isang Pangulo ng Pilipinas na in fairness naman kay Pinoy, I'll give it to him. Yes, close ally tayo ng US, but Pinoy was also a critical ally. Meaning an ally who was not blind. Na was tinitignan niya yung mga katotohanan, yung mga limitasyon ng ating alyansa with America. Do you think now that the Philippine economy is twice larger than the time of Pinoy, now that the Philippines is even more geopolitically important, more assertive, and again, thanks to Pinoy because he laid down the foundation, meron ba tayong bargaining chips? Meron ba tayong almost that metaphysical self-confidence and skill sets to get a deal na hindi perfect, maybe hindi 10 out of 10, but 6, 7, 8 out of 10, which is better than the 0 we have right now na wala tayong major manufacturing investment galing sa US at sa mga aliado natin.
Well, kailangan nating mag-negotiate from strike eh. Kakataas lang ng ating
Expert yung tariff na naman.
tariff by 12 12.5%.
Hindi yata nag-uusap
Yan ba
yung mga
yan ba yung
kaibigan.
yan ba yung preferred preferential option dun sa kanilang main ally dito?
Oh, kasi 50%
yung front
naman daw
line?
sa India, 100 daw sa
yeah,
China.
right.
Yan
No?
naman
So,
sila, diba?
so,
Ako rin.
so hindi natin nakikita yun eh, di ba?
Correct.
So, kailangan naman ng counting affirmative action. Laki nung hinihingi nila sa atin. Tapos ganyan yung treatment sa atin, di ba? Kaya nga dati, kahit si Pinoy, nakikipag-away siya.
Correct.
No? Hindi siya hihiga na lang, no?
Oh, thank you na lang,
Oo,
thank you na, thank
oo,
you.
yeah. So, ang problema nga, it's last 2 years ni BBM.
Yeah.
At ito yung probably his weakest 2 years,
Mm.
no? Dahil patapos na siya. So, everything has to be done quickly, sabi mo nga.
Yeah.
Pero the fundamentals, wala pa eh. Ang nakikita pa lang natin is the form, the shape, not the substance. So, what are we talking about? Anong ating kinikriticize? Ano yung ating pinupuri? Kulang pa eh. Di ba?
But that's also a good thing because I think at the time na meron points of potential intervention, no, by civil society, by community stakeholders, thought leaders. So kaya sabi ko maganda na pag-usapan natin.
That's
ito.
1,600 hectares. Malaki yan. No? Yung ating water system ay bagsak. Di ba? Especially during summer
drought
summer
season,
months. Di ba? So, we have to do something about that. No?
Right. And we have to hear yung technical. Sabi ko, the devil is in the details. Mahirap
Yes.
magsalita.
Again,
this time, yeah.
energy. Saan manggagaling yung energy natin? Electricity. Saan manggagaling yan?
Pero as we speak, Sir Ronald, no, we're already, parang all of the big companies, tech companies, marami na silang mga data centers na ginagawa dito, back offices. So it's not like we're starting from scratch. I'm not
Yes.
saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying na meron ng infrastruktura dito and there's more and more interest.
Elements of an infrastructure.
Or elements,
Yeah.
skeleton of infrastructure. But from what I've seen, look at BGC from zero to basically Manhattan in 10
You're talking
years.
about flood control sa BGC?
Yun. Speaking of BGC, may malapit dyan sa BGC na mga medyo zombie-ish. Pag-usapan natin sa ating Rottweiler episode. Danke schön, Herr
Danke
Ronald
schön.
Llamas. That was a good discussion. Sasabihin na naman na amboy tayo. Kasi hindi tayo
Hindi, bumanat ako. Hindi naman ako katulad mo.
Hindi, thank you very much guys dun sa parang explainer ko na yan eh. Kung ginamit ko lang si Sir Ronald as a sounding board. In fairness, mabait ka pala minsan pag geopolitics and discussion. Eto na, balik na tayo sa domestic politics. Para naman ma-miss natin yung mabuling namin ni Sir Ronald Llamas. Maraming salamat for joining our latest episode ng ROAR Pilipinas 360. Salamat. Alright, let's go to the next.